Good evening. This is Eric Hawes, and I am here to present to you the negative effects of social media and why you should limit your time on these social sites. You know, it's interesting, we hear a lot in the news about the great advancement that social media has made over the last couple of years, new sites that have come on board, new applications. But what's interesting is you really start to look into the facts of really why you should limit your time on some of these social sites. So as you look here, increased use of social media does a bunch of different things, right? First of which, you have an increase of cyberbullying when you are on social media sites. Decrease in interpersonal skills, security risks, and decrease in productivity. And we'll get into some of those details here in a moment. But as you can see, enhanced use with this is not necessarily increases production. Some of the interesting statistics as you take a look at when you increase cyberbullying, 48% of males and 27% of females in 2016 have reported cyberbullying. Pretty large numbers when you look at it that way. 1 in 4 children report being bullied by someone in their adolescence online. That's a lot, 1 in 4. I mean, that's 25%. And then 58% of children and teens have reported being having mean comments posted about them online. So there's, again, a lot of exposure, a lot of opportunities for people to bully you and to say not very nice things about you. When you look at decreased productivity, and this is actually very interesting when you look at it, how it relates to the workforce, 61% total workforce access their social media sites daily while at work. 61%, right? Just off the bat, right? 61% of your coworkers each day are accessing their social media. 1 in 5 millennials spend over 6 hours per day on social media. I was very surprised when I looked at these sites. I actually had to read that statistic twice to say, wow, that's a lot right there. Very, very impactful. An average time to get back on track after being distracted is 23 minutes. So if you stop and think about those earlier statistics there where, 61% of the workforce is checking their social sites, it's very interesting to know that when they check that, when they post a comment or read a comment, it's going to take that much time, 23 minutes to get back on track. Very interesting. And of course that equals distracted workforce across the area. So very interesting from that standpoint. When you look at how it relates to interpersonal skills, 1 in 4 people spend more time socializing online and in person. You really think about what a shift this has been over the last X amount of years, right? So you go back before social media, most interactions were done over face-to-face. Now 1 in 4 people spend more time socializing than they do face-to-face. 11% of adults prefer to stay at home and communicate on their devices instead of face-to-face. 11%, I was surprised to see that as well. And then 28% of adults say that they are addicted to social media. That number actually was very high, 28%. So that's more than a quarter of Americans say that they're addicted to social media. And then as time moves on, you're going to see probably more and more of that as time moves on. Security concerns. This is something, again, that social media can have an impact in a negative way in your life. 19 people become victims of identity theft every minute. I mean, it's tremendous, 19 every minute. Identity theft is the top consumer complaint to the FTC. And then the more you post, the more people will be able to find out about you. Think about all these social media sites that might have your birthday on there. And think about how many passwords or usernames have your birthday in them. Phone numbers, email addresses. It's really just putting a lot of your information out there that people can really take advantage of that. And then a burglar can break in within 60 seconds of posting a vacation picture alerts when people are away. When you're traveling with the family in Florida, it's an opportunity there for a burglar to see that and say, hey, these people aren't home right now. Perfect opportunity to go break into the house. And a lot of people are unfortunately being victimized by that. So how do you limit your time on social media sites? One of the best things to do is to limit the amount of sites that you're a member of or you belong to. There's so many popping up all the time that it's just, could be, especially for those people that are addicted to it, very advantageous they feel to add, all of these different sites to their name. Limit your network. Accept only people that you actually know. Sometimes you see competition out there. Ooh, how many friends does somebody have? How many connections does somebody have? But you're really limited to people that you're comfortable with and that you know. Be careful when you click online and the amount of information that you're sharing. Again, back to that security piece. If you're sharing information such as your proprietary information, your birth date, keep that all in context when you're putting stuff out on the web. And then create experience instead of commenting on others. Again, a lot of people like to comment on a lot of things that people do and so forth. So you really try to keep some of that down to yourself. And the positive effects of limiting your time. So if you do those things there and you limit your time on social media, some of the positive effects can be boost your self-esteem. Number one. It's very interesting how competitive people get when they see social media. Oh, I just saw so-and-so from high school bought a new car, or so-and-so from there, right? It's very interesting, to try to be competitive with that, knowing that what everybody has going on in their life. Increase personal security. Less you share online, less you're online, less opportunity, less information you're going to share. Avoid negative comments. You're not going to get as many negative comments if you don't have as many friends and you're not members of as many different social media outlets. And then increase time with friends and family. A lot of people say that time is your most valuable asset, something that you can't get back, right, is time. So it's definitely something to take a look at there. And thank you for this time here today, and I hope you really take a look at all these facts that we've laid out for you today and really think long and hard about your interaction with social media. So thank you, and have a great day.